no one really appreciates this 2030, mantra, or even the editing of the constitution, or call it what, an amendment. I think we have gotten to a point where, you know, um, our leaders globally, they don't really care for, what the basic citizen, or what a regular, citizen thinks. We have gotten to a point where we have restored that toxic power in leaders that used to exist back then, where they feel like being in a leadership position is an entitlement, and them being your leader, they're doing you a favor, instead of acknowledging the fact that they were appointed through elections or whatever ways that people use to democratically appoint their leaders. We are in a simulation type of situation where a lot of things are decided for us, with or without our consent, and the elites make decisions that they think work for them, and they don't really care about what happens at the bottom. I was looking up online, I think from the past hour, ever since I think that was Zimbabwe who was speaking, and I was trying to understand the doctrine of uh, violent free protests, like people demonstrating without violence. And I was trying to understand how many countries have actually benefited from such a strategy. And the only country that I saw that benefited from that, I think in 1979, was Iran. Um, Going to demonstrate at the embassies in different countries, for Iran, that's the only country that I can see that yielded results, like tangible results, like a total change of the regime through going to demonstrate at an embassy in a foreign country. Then I was looking, and there's a period that was really composed of different like there's a decade of protests around the world from 2010 until to like 2020, and some of those protests were violent. Now I'm looking at Sudan. In 2019, they did a protest that brought an end to a 30-year rule of dictatorship and all that. If you look at what happened in South Africa in 1960s to 1990s, those anti-apartheid movement, they were violent, and they brought the change. If you look at Chile, which is Chile, 2019 to 2020, they did the Estado Lido Social, which was a violent protest, and it brought the change. It forced a referendum to rewrite the country's constitution. Iran in 2026, the protests that were happening in late 2025 and 2026, you know, they actually imposed, like they caused an economic meltdown, but they're impactful. Libya in 2011, it went through pretty much the same type of violent protest. It brought change. France in 1968, again, the list is endless. But my point is, we need to get to a point in Zimbabwe where we realize that, we need to move with intention. People were murdered in 2018 after the elections, and they were not even violent. People were murdered. People went to protest in the streets. Nothing was destroyed. Because if you remember very well, if you can Makapinam town after those people who got shot, nothing was destroyed by those protesters, but they were shot. So regardless of whether you're violent or you're not, you're gonna get shot. You're gonna get ZANU-PF is ready on that front line to make sure that they stop whatever initiatives you have. So at the end of the day, we really need to tell each other the truth. ZANU-PF is not going to budge because they've tested the waters. You know that statement of testing the depth of the water with 1 foot first, and they realize you don't react the way you're supposed to, and then you got easily to you can go ahead and use both feet in walking across the river. That's what they did last year, the whole of last year from 2024, when they started, you know, soft launching the project 2030. They knew what they were doing, and they saw the response from the people, and they realized, like, now we can actually go ahead and impose this, and those people won't do anything. Everyone who is actually getting to a point of joining ZANU-PF for all these handouts that they're getting, it started again with those soft launches of those handouts to see how people were gonna react to that. Now, if you look at us, it's us who are in the diaspora who are now the stronghold of opposing whatever ZANU-PF, movements are. But the people who are actually locally in Zimbabwe, a lot of them have been they've been tainted. They fell victim to the soft launches. Now ZANU-PF is actually willing to go full force in imposing whatever it is that they want to, because they know that the people, they're not going to react. So at the end of the day, we really want a change in Zimbabwe. I promise you, it's not gonna come from just soft like that. Those soft reactions. We can protest and not harm anything. Look at Ifan Mawari, right? We can actually be in town and demonstrate, stairways and all this and all that. It works to a certain extent. But when it comes to real major issues like this constitution play around that is going on, that it needs more than that. It needs more than that. So I'll use my mic for now. Thank you.
Welcome to Zim One, a platform where every voice matters and every idea counts. This is a space dedicated to nation building, shaped by the thoughts, hopes, and lived experiences of the people of Zimbabwe. From the streets to the classrooms, from farms to factories, from elders to the youth, we bring together brilliant points from different gatherings of citizens across our nation. These are conversations rooted in reality, driven by patriotism, and guided by the belief that Zimbabwe's future is built by its people. Here, we listen, we reflect, and we share ideas that inspire unity, progress, and sustainable development. This channel is not about politics alone. It is about solutions. Not about division, but about collective responsibility. Join us as Zimbabweans from all walks of life contribute insights that strengthen our communities, uplift our nation, and shape the Zimbabwe we all want to see. This is our voice. This is our vision. This is nation building together.